Welcome to the Comicstorian channel, where we take things such as the lore of your favorite video game, the synopsis to a movie or a graphic novel of your favorite comic book, and we break it down into an audio drama, allowing you to keep up with your favorite pop culture icons while getting on with your busy life. Today we're going to be doing one of our full story videos, in which we take a lot of our older videos from a playlist, so the videos could be a year old, 2 years old, or just some of our older content in general, and we piece them together to bring you a full story. The entire story without the need for a playlist. Recently, I don't know why, but I've been getting asked questions if I was going to cover the Power Rangers and Justice League storyline, and we did in 2 separate videos. So we decided that since people are asking for it again, let's give them the full story. Let's combine those videos into one thing. So this is the Justice League versus the Power Rangers. I hope you guys enjoy. Angel Grove is the home to the Power Rangers, where the way of life is kept safe by the Power Rangers. However, right now, the Rangers all look at a hole in the ground that was once their lovely city, and Zack kneels down stating that this is all his fault. Superman flies down telling him that this is not his fault. This isn't on him. They know who did this. Now stand up, Zack. We have work to do. Only just 36 hours before that, the Rangers gathered at the command center upon hearing Zordon's request. A short while ago, Alpha 5 went missing while doing a check on the perimeter defenses. Since then, his signal was lost. The Rangers all teleport out to look for the robot, and Zack is the one to find him. Except Alpha 5 has been hurt. Something ripped out some of the wires through his chest. Zack radios back that he's located Alpha 5 and he's on his way back to the base to let the others know. As Zack and Alpha 5 return, Zordon asks if there was any signs of a struggle or a fight, and Zack tells him honestly he was just in a hurry to bring him back, so he didn't actually look. As the two talk, Alpha 5 begins to say, "Aye, and Zordon says that there is something wrong. Zack takes a closer look and says that he's no expert on sentient robots, but he's pretty sure Alpha 5's face shouldn't be melting. Alpha 5 repeats himself and Zordon shouts that there's more to it. Teleport him away now! As Alpha 5 begins to speak again, his entire body explodes, knocking Zack to the ground. As he gets up, he says that this can't be, and a voice tells him, "Oh yes!" In the hole in the wall stands Lord Zed with an army of putties waiting for their signal. Zed tells Zordon, "Now with your defenses breached, it is time for us to..." And Zack stands up telling him no. And Zed asks, "Really? You were just hit with an explosion. Shouldn't you not be getting up?" Zack pulls out his power coin and he shouts, "It's morphin' time!" And he shoots up to fight the attackers. The putties all quickly surround Zack, and as they hold him in place, Zed punches into him asking, "Zordon, where did you get this one? He should know that there's no way to win." Zack tells him, "No. You can't defeat me. All I have to do is teleport him away." Zack then reaches out grabbing Zed's arm, and Zordon yells for him not to do it. The teleporters are damaged. But as Zordon finishes, the two vanish through the portal. Inside the stream, Zed shouts, "Let me go!" And Zack tells him, "That's a good idea." And he releases his grip, allowing Zed to float alone. Seconds later, Zack is thrown out of the portal and onto the ground, and he jumps back up to fight the lingering putties. But as he does, a light shines on him, and Batman appears telling him, "Put down the axe." Zack spins around telling him, "I know who you are. You're one of Zed's monsters." Batman readies himself telling him, "I have no idea who Zed is, and you seem disoriented. Perhaps you may have a concussion." Zack leaps into the air with his axe yelling, "I will not let you attack this city." However, as Zack swings, Batman deflects the hit and quickly pins him to the ground. Another voice calls out to Batman telling him to let go of their friend, and in a flash of light, the other Power Rangers all teleport in. Everyone begins to attack Batman, and Batman radios, "I can use some help over here. I'm fighting enhanced beings, increased durability, increased speed, and increased strength." The Rangers all stand together and they attack together, and then there's a red flash, and suddenly, the Rangers are all disarmed. Batman hops into the Batmobile and launches a missile at the Rangers, almost destroying them. And Kim tells the others to get out of the way, but Zack says they can't leave yet. He brought Zed here. Kim says they can deal with that after whatever this is first. Pterodactyl's dinosaur power! Just then the pink Pterodactyl Zord appears, and Kim jumps in it, stating, "We have to take care of the missile-firing car first, Zack." As the Zord swoops down, the Flash radios up to Cyborg in the Watchtower that they're gonna need the League's big guns. He's not quite sure how to say this, but Batman's been taken by a flying pink dinosaur robot. Once Batman is removed from the fight, Billy radios in asking Kim if she's okay, and she tells him yeah, but there's someone else here with her, someone flying. Billy asks, "Flying what?" And Kim says that he's just flying, like in the air. As Kim flies past Superman, he knocks on her windshield, telling her, "I'm gonna have to ask you to land your pterodactyl." Green Lantern John Stewart then flies down asking the Flash, "What are we dealing with here?" And the Flash tells him that from what he's overheard, they have no idea who the Justice League is, and in their defense, if I didn't know who Batman was, I'd probably attack him too. John says, actually, that's a good point. I'm gonna restrain them so we can ask some questions. He creates a bubble around the remaining Rangers, and Jason tells the others that it's time that they bring in something that can't be contained. Moments later, the bubble shatters as the rest of the dinosaurs start to be summoned. Jason, Tommy, and Zach all begin to attack John, and as John creates a shield, that too is destroyed. The Flash runs over, catching John, and as he does, Cyborg teleports in, telling Barry, I'm gonna hold them down here. I know what to do. Without saying a word, the Flash runs and vibrates his body, passing through the Dinozord cockpit, pulling Jason out. The Flash then gets ready to swing, but Superman stops him, telling him, wait! Kim calls over to Jason, telling him it's okay, we can stop fighting, they aren't the bad guys here. And Jason gets up asking, how could you be so sure? And up in Kim's Dinozord, Diana stands with Kim wrapped in a lasso, and Kim says that she has just had a pretty intense conversation. Once the two sides stop fighting, Zach tells Batman that he's sorry for attacking him, but you know, for being a hero, you do look scary as hell, since good guys generally don't dress up like bats, and good guys smile. Why don't you smile? Diana asks who they are, and Kim says that they are the Power Rangers. They are the Guardians of Earth, just another Earth, another dimension. Billy goes on to explain that their base of operations was attacked and their teleporters were damaged. Zach was accidentally teleported here and they followed to bring him back. Trini says that they can't return yet though, can they? And Batman asks, why not? Zach tells him, because I didn't come to your dimension alone. I accidentally brought a great threat here. His name is Lord Zed, and right now he could be anywhere. And unknown to the heroes, Zed appeared somewhere in particular, inside Brainiac's spaceship. Back on Earth, Diana says that she's glad that cool heads prevailed before this went too far. Batman says, that's right, the last robot dinosaur that attacked me is now mounted as a trophy. And Zach shouts, see? How am I supposed to know that this Batman guy was a good guy? Cyborg then tells everyone that something's happening. The internet just exploded with talk. There are monsters appearing all over the place, and all across the globe. The monsters appear attacking all of the major cities, and Superman shouts that they have a full-scale planetary invasion happening. Batman points to Zach, telling him, you're the one who brought him here. And he says, yeah, but we're gonna help you fight it. And Trini says, it's kinda what we do. Cyborg gets ready to teleport people in, but before he can, he notices something going on in the Watchtower. There's something infiltrating the Watchtower's teleportation systems, a virus that is breaking down all of the firewalls. Batman asks, can Zed? And Billy tells him no. Zed wouldn't have a clue about computer systems. This has to be something else. Zach then tells Batman, look, we have a monster to take down and our teleporters are down. If you want to join us, there's no time to argue about it. Get in the Mastodon. While the combined forces of the Justice League and the power of the dinosaurs, the heroes push the monsters back. But over in Egypt, Superman can see that there are more than just monsters to worry about. Brainiac drones, and they are headed straight for the dinosaurs. Inside Kim's cockpit, she radios that she lost her connection to her Zord, and that's when she sees a hand reaching out to her. A Brainiac drone tells her that Lord Zed and Brainiac need to see this, and takes her power coin. As the pink pterodactyl falls to the ground, Diana catches it, telling her, Great Hera. And Flash asks, did you just say Great Hera? That's never a good sign. Diana then shouts for everyone to get the Power Rangers out of their vehicles. Brainiac is taking control of them. As Batman begins to pull Zach out of the Mastodon, he shouts, wait! They've taken our power coins and they said they're going to our world. And just like that, the attacks all stop across the world and the Dinozords disappear. Later in the Watchtower, Cyborg begins to scan the systems for any trace of Brainiac, and he says that he's gone. Jason then says not only that, but he also took their only way of getting home. And Zach adds, along with Zed. Superman places his hand on Zach's shoulder, telling him, this isn't on you, son. Zed isn't your villain. You're not responsible for the mayhem that he caused. All you can do, or any of you can do, is work to stop him. And Zach asks, what are we supposed to do now? I'm gonna assume you guys can't travel across dimensions, can you? And the Flash smiles. Actually, I can. It's usually by accident, and I probably can't take anyone with me on account of them being ripped apart. And Trini asks, does anyone have an idea that doesn't involve ripping people apart? And Billy says that he might, as long as this Earth also has a large Hadron Collider. So a short while later, over in Switzerland, Tommy asks how they're supposed to do this. It's not like they're gonna let them experiment with their multi-billion-dollar machine. And Cyborg tells them, you just have to ask nicely. Trini asks who among them could ask for something like this, and a few moments later, Superman tells the scientists, hello, and the scientists drop their papers, stating, oh my god. Billy and Cyborg's theories came to life as they both smile, stating that they found it. Billy then turns to everyone, stating that they can do it. They can create a hole in space. However, the problem that they're going to run into is that it would just be a random hole that could lead anywhere. One of the scientists says they need to link their Earth to make it even possible. Everyone begins to wonder what they could use to link back to Angel Grove, and that's when Tommy steps up, stating, "Hey, I may have a link. The Dragon Dagger. It's still connected to the Dragon Zord in our dimension. I can feel it." Billy tells him it's perfect. Now they just have to open up a rift underground, and if they lose it, they could accidentally cause the fatal collapse in the Earth. Diana says that they're going to need to move the Hadron Collider somewhere else, and another of the scientists shouts that you just can't move it. We're 17 miles underground. Diana tells him that she understands. They'll be very careful with it. John can steer it while Superman and herself will lift it. Together, Diana and Superman lift the largest machine in the world right out of the ground. A short while later in the Javelin, Tommy hands over the Dragon Dagger, stating that he's gonna want this back, and John Stewart, the Green Lantern, tells him, "I understand. Let's fire this thing up." Cyborg hits the switch, and within minutes, the portal begins to appear. Billy says that as long as their calculations are correct, it should bring them to their world. And Tommy asks, "And if not?" And Cyborg tells him that we've just created a giant, hyper-efficient superhero shredding machine. Flash tells him, "Don't worry, I'm the only one fast enough to actually feel if we're going to be pulled into oblivion." And Tommy tells him, "How is that in any way comforting? The thrusters in the Javelin kick in and the ship pushes through the portal, but what they find is a dome surrounding Angel Grove." And Jason asks, "How do we even fight that?" Cyborg tells him the process has already started. Trini asks what process, and Superman tells her that it's Brainiac. He's shrinking the city. He is taking it for his collection. They can't stop it now. If they do, the whole city will be torn apart. As the Javelin lands, Zach runs out and Diana tells him that she's sorry. They have to let this play out. After that, they can act and save the Power Rangers world. And Zach shouts, "Forget that!" And he begins to beat on the dome. Inside, he can see his parents and they too can see him. And he tells them that he's sorry. The last thing that he did was yell when he left. Zach's father says that they can't hear him and his mother tells him, "Just be safe. We love you." As they talk through the glass, the light shines and the city disappears. And Zach falls to his knees. And that's when we return to the beginning of the story that started in the last video, with Superman telling him, "I know how you feel. I've lost my home too, but together we have a chance at bringing yours back. It's not too late." He then scans the skies and he sees Brainiac's ship. It's still in low orbit. Batman tells them that they have another pressing issue. Every time that Brainiac takes a city, he destroys the world that it came from. And Diana tells everyone that they all need to make up a strike team to access Brainiac's ship while another stays on Earth as the defensive force. Batman says, "I agree, which is why I brought some things to assist us." Back inside of the Javelin, he opens up a locker filled with equipment, telling everyone that Brainiac's drones and Zed's putties aren't alive, so we don't have to hold back. Jason takes hold of a sword and Batman tells him, "That is the sword of Azrael. If the user's will is strong enough, it can." But before he can finish, the blade lights up in a fiery blaze. And Flash says, "Yeah, that'll do it." Kim picks up a bow and arrow, notices that the arrowhead is a boxing glove. Flash tells her, "I know it's a bit weird." And Kim tells him no, she gets it. It's for when you want to punch someone who's a really long way away. Jason holds up the Red Hood mask, stating, "We're gonna need to hide our faces. Once we've saved the world, we still need to keep our anonymity." So the Power Rangers suit up in the equipment left behind by past heroes, and they head out. Superman rockets into space to attack Brainiac's ship directly, while Cyborg blasts in through the side to sneak everyone inside. Cyborg taps into the ship's systems, and he says that he's located the power coins. And seconds later, Superman crashes in! He scans and he says that he sees them too. They're guarded, but nothing that he can't handle. Moments later, Superman shoots back out of the walls, tossing everyone their communicators and their coins. And just as Zach suits back up as the Black Power Ranger, he's struck with a blast. Everyone shouts asking what happened, and Batman looks up and he asks, "Cyborg?" Brainiac responds through Cyborg, stating, "He's here, but now he's under my control." And then he shoots into Batman. Billy quickly morphs, and using the trident in his hand, he stabs into Cyborg's chest, telling him, "I'm so sorry about this." Meanwhile, at the NATO headquarters, the world's powers gather to discuss the next steps in losing an American city. Some of the members begin to argue with themselves as to who actually did it, and a voice calls out, telling them that this is not the work of another country. Diana steps in, telling them, "This threat is beyond the capabilities of your world." One of the members shout to apprehend the woman, and Diana continues walking unfazed by the men trying to stop her. She says that there is really no need for this. A security guard fires his gun at Diana, deflects the bullet, telling him, "I won't risk the lives of innocent bystanders. If you shoot again, I'll have to be more forceful." She continues telling them, "It is true that I am not of your world, but I do know what happened to Angel Grove, and my friends know what happens next." Just then, Jason, Kim, and Tommy walk in, and Jason says, "You may not recognize us, but we're the Power Rangers. Angel Grove has been taken by a being who intends to destroy the planet. He's working with Lord Zed, and we don't have a lot of time." Diana then speaks back up, telling telling them, right now everyone needs to set aside their differences. You'll all be needed. Ready your armies. A great evil is upon you and you must resist. As the Flash locates Zed creating monsters, Brainiac launches his drones to attack Earth. But back inside of Brainiac's ship, Superman looks at one of the tridents sticking out of Cyborg and he asks what happened. Trini says that when Brainiac took over, Cyborg was going to kill them. And just then, Cyborg stands back up with Brainiac stating, through him, you are correct, and I still will. As Cyborg swings, Superman grabs him, telling him, I can't let you do that. And Batman jumps up, telling him, hold him in place for a moment. Batman begins working on the wires that are sticking out, and Zack asks, what is he doing? So Batman tells him, I'm gonna try and reboot him. That is, if everything that I've uncovered about Cyborg's system is correct. Superman asks, does Cyborg know that you can do this? And Batman continues to work, and Superman tells him, that's what I thought. Suddenly, there's a spark of electricity, and Cyborg looks down asking, why is there a hole in my chest? Billy says that he's sorry about that, but he had to stab him, though he aimed for what he figured were the non-essential human bits. Cyborg pauses for a moment, and then he asks Batman, what did you just do? And Batman tells him, not now. Trini then says, look, we don't have time for whatever that is. We need to get Angel Grove off this ship. After another scan, the team locates the room holding Angel Grove, and Cyborg mentions that there is someone else on board, someone called Alpha 5. Over in the control room, Brainiac tells Alpha 5 that he's never had the chance to interact with another binary creature who has achieved sentience. Though he is curious, he has achieved so much, so why choose to work with the Earthlings? Alpha 5 says that he guesses it's because he wants to. They're good people doing good things. There's nothing wrong with a being to feel empathy. Only machines can't feel, so why destroy planets and put cities into bottles? Brainiac says, it's because I consume their knowledge so that I may learn. And Alpha 5 tells him, that sounds a bit selfish. Thinking for myself isn't sentience, it's knowing that we're not alone. Seconds later, Superman bursts through the wall, but before he can get a hold of Alpha 5, Brainiac grabs him by the neck, telling him, I knew that you would come, and I have something for you, Superman. He reaches out holding a piece of kryptonite, pressing it to Superman's face. But before the weakening effects can take place, a sword is thrown into Brainiac's back, and Trini shouts to take him. Zack and Billy get to work cutting Brainiac into pieces, and as Brainiac drops the kryptonite, Batman quickly and quietly catches it and tucks it away. As everyone gets ready to head out, Billy says, wait a moment, we're taking Brainiac's arm with us. Back on Earth, the other team continues to fight off Zed's monsters and Brainiac's drones, and then Superman comes crashing down. He hands over the power coins, telling them this should help. But it would seem that you're doing just fine without them. The others land, and Billy says that he has an idea of how they could beat Brainiac, but him and Cyborg are gonna need some time. Jason says that's fine, they're gonna buy them all the time that they need. As Superman says, we all will. Zed shouts, that's right, you're gonna join the others as your planet is crushed. He then throws another of his enlarging bombs, but before he can hit a monster, the Flash runs in grabbing it. He takes the bomb to Alpha 5, telling him, you look like you're the only one who can't fight, so keep that safe. But while everyone runs back into the battle, a drone appears before Alpha 5 and Brainiac tells him to hand it over. You have no choice in this. Alpha 5 tells him, actually, I do have a choice, and I choose to fight for something larger than myself. As the bomb hits the ground, Alpha 5 springs up as large as a Zord, and he begins fighting back the giant monsters. Alpha 5 knocks out one of the monsters, and as its body falls, it heads straight for a large building. Superman and Diana fly over to catch it, and Alpha 5 shouts, ay, I'm so sorry, I could have crushed people. Jason tells him, it's all right. This was your first time punching a Leviathan, we've all been there. He then turns back to the Flash, telling him, we need to get Angel Grove away from here just in case. But before the Flash leaves, Jason takes a closer look at the city and notices that the command center isn't in there. Hanging from a necklace around Zed's neck is another small bottle with a small piece of land. The command center. Zed asks Zordon, can you see okay from your tiny prison? Because this world is about to be destroyed with the tools that you provided. As the fighting continues, Kim pops back into the Javelin, asking Billy if they're close to finishing whatever it is that they're working on, because they can't hold these things back forever. Cyborg smiles, telling her, it's okay, let them come. He runs outside and begins to shoot at the drones, and only after a few seconds, the drones begin to take control of him. Brainiac says, Cyborg belongs to me once again, and now it's time to study him. Billy says, no it's not. We've managed to scratch the surface studying the arm, and we have a surprise for you. Brainiac tells him, there is nothing that you can do to surprise me. I am at 12th level intellect. Billy responds, I'm not sure what a 12th level intellect is, but I'm pretty sure you're making that up. As Brainiac goes to talk, his words short out, and Billy tells him, we may have put a virus inside of Cyborg. All at once, the Brainiac drones begin to fall, and Cyborg laughs. Now it's time to delete you. As the Rangers look back, they can see the dinosaurs beginning to break free of Brainiac's control, and Zed watches as his plan is falling to pieces, shouting, I won't let this happen! You will all be destroyed! He breaks 2 of the enlarging bombs on himself, and John Stewart asks, did anyone know that he could do that? Diana tells him, fear not. It just made him an easier target. Zed holds out his staff, shocking everyone, and Batman sees that this isn't an ordinary attack. He's using magic. Zed then thrusts his staff down to stab Superman, but before he can, the Megazord appears, knocking him away. Alpha 5 quickly runs up from behind, tackling into Zed, and at that moment, moment, Jason reaches out, snatching the command center container. He then hands it back to Alpha 5, telling him to keep this safe, and that's when he's punched. Jason asks if it was supposed to hurt, because being this large does take some adjustment. The Megazord pulls back with his massive fist and then punches right into Zed's stomach. The Megazord releases several more attacks, and just as the sword is held high, Zed slams his fist on the ground, knocking the Megazord away. Just as the Megazord gets back up, Zed has already disappeared. And down on the ground, Diana spots him running away, and Kim jumps out, shouting, "I got this." She pulls back on the bow and she fires the boxing glove arrow right into Zed's face. She lands, telling him, "Okay, that was pretty much the most satisfying thing that I've ever done." A short while later, using Brainiac's ship, the Rangers restore Angel Grove to its normal size. Everyone then meets at the juice bar before returning home. Bulk and Skull look over at everyone to see them hanging out with the adults and ask where they were when things got bad. As the two walk up, Bruce stares at them and he quickly turn and walk away. Zack asks, "Do you always like intimidating new people?" And after their time of celebration, it is time for the Justice League to return home, and with them, Brainiac's ship. The Rangers all wave goodbye, but Alpha 5 turns away stating, "Ay, ay, ay," except he keeps repeating himself, "Ay, ay, 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 I am Brainiac." And there you have it, the Justice League versus the Power Rangers. I know it's a little bit of a shorter full story, but they didn't do much to the actual story. It only had 6 total issues. Either way, I really enjoyed this. I enjoy the Boom Power Rangers books, and I enjoy the Justice League books, but what did you think? Did you think that this was a merging of some of your favorite pop culture characters ever? The Power Rangers versus the Justice League? How could it go wrong? Either way, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that little bit of a bell in the corner, because that will give you notifications as to when we're going to do more videos and when more stuff you might be interested in is coming out. Thank you, and have a good day.